Hey Climb Apart, it's Annie, Thursday Girl again, and this week we're doing Story Week. So I'm going to tell about the time I met Harry Styles and went to their concert and everything. I went to their Nashville concert in June, and I went down the day for the concert, and we got there, and my mom was like, oh, we don't need to get a hotel, we'll find one when we're down there. So we searched for 3 hours for a hotel. We finally found one, and it was, we got a reservation, and the lady came out there, she's like, I need to talk to somebody about bed bugs, and so we left there. We didn't stay there, we went to another one, and it was under renovation, but we stayed there, and it was really sketchy, but it was a hotel. And we got a hotel, and then we went and walked around downtown Nashville just for a little bit, just to see everything. We went and ate margarita, no, we ate at Hard Rock Cafe, because I never ate there and I wanted to eat there. So we went there and ate, and then we went and walked around again. And just walked a lot of walking. We went to some stores and just saw different things and saw the people singing. And then that night we went back to the hotel and we slept, and then the next morning we woke up at 7 and we all got ready, and 8:30 we were in the car. We rode around, just went down some and rode around to see if we saw a tour bus or if we saw girls at a hotel freaking out. We didn't see anything, so we went back and we started walking around downtown Nashville again. And the Bridgestone Arena is right there in downtown Nashville, so we stopped and I saw, we were walking around, so we walked down to it, and there were 2 buses, and my mom went up to one of them and she was like, is this bus have anything to do with One Direction, or is this bus in place? And there was a lady, and she was kind of rude. She was like, you can take a picture with it, but it's nothing important. And she was like, if it's anything to do with One Direction, it's important. And she was like, well, just take a picture with it. And there was a guy standing there, and she was like, you can take a picture with him. And so I took a picture with this guy, and when we were taking a picture, he was like, just to let you know, I'm their truck driver. And he drove one of the trucks with equipment and the merch in it. He was really cool, and I saw him all throughout the day, and I would walk by him and he'd give me a high five, and then he was really cool. I got his autograph. And there was another truck driver that he was friends with, he was cool guys too. And then later that day, and then we started walking around again. We walked around forever. We went to get breakfast, and all I could eat, I got a bowl of fruit and I didn't even eat it because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I was on Twitter, and I saw where there was a picture of Harry's with this girl, and you couldn't see a lot of the background, but you could tell there was a big hole. And I was we was checking out after, or paying for the check or whatever, and I was like, where's this hotel? Do you know where this hotel's at? And the girl took my phone and she walked around for 5 minutes trying to figure out. She was like, I think it's the Renaissance. So I went to the Renaissance Hotel. It was right down the street. And I walked through out there, and there was some other girl that was like, are y'all looking for One Direction too? She was like, no, we think 5 Seconds Summer's here. So I walked in, looked around, didn't see anything. I didn't see the pole. So then we went to, oh my goodness, I can't even remember the name of it. Went to another one. And I stood there for 20 minutes because they're like, oh, 5 Seconds Summer's here. And there was a bunch of girls standing out, and a man came out in a car, or a man came out and he got in a car that had a driver in it, and he was like, the boys will be out in a minute. And then he drove around, and I'm pretty sure he picked up 5 Seconds of Summer when he did that. But the boys supposedly were staying on campus, so I couldn't find them or anything. So we walked around some more, and I went back to where I met the truck driver, and he was still out there. So I was like, do you know when the boys are going to be here? He was like, they'll probably be here until about 2 or 3 hours before the concert. And then I was asking if he knew where they were staying. He's like, no, I only know where their crew's staying. But of course I didn't ask because I was just not thinking. I was like, I gotta find the boys. So we went and walked around some more and just looked for him. And I was on Twitter, I was trying to find him. And around I think it was around 12, my mom's, because she's loves Jimmy Buffett, and so she's like, let's go to Margaritaville, have a drink, and I could get something to eat so they can eat breakfast. We were sitting there, and my mom looks out, or there was a guy, okay, I should say this too. There was a guy, he was singing live there, and We just remember to sing loud there, obviously. But my mom looked out the window because their windows aren't really like, they're windows, but they like open all the way up. And so she looked out the window, she had made a face, and I looked and I said, Mom, don't do that to me. And then I turned around again, and I just saw us the door, and I ran out of there. All I heard, like, my mom was like, Dawn, it's really him, I gotta go. And I was already out. I ran across the street, didn't even look. I don't think there was a car coming because I'm still alive. But he was taking a picture with 4 of the girls, and he started to walk away before I got over there. And I was like, hey, will you take a picture with me? And he came back, and he stood beside me. And I was standing beside him, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I didn't say anything because I was just like, I can't believe this is actually happening. And then I looked, and there was Lou, and she was holding Lux, and all, like, I didn't even ask for a picture of them because I was, like, so in shock that it was actually happening. I was just like, hey, Lou, and I just looked at Lux, and you could tell she'd been playing on Lou's makeup, and it was the cutest thing ever. And my mom was just bawling her eyes out, and I was, like, shaking my phone, and I was like, Mom, take my phone, take a picture. And Harry grabbed me, and he was like, no, it's okay, Lou. And he handed it to Lou, and Lou took the picture for it. My mom said that Lou was like, just give me that phone, because she got my mom's phone, but she didn't take it on. She was like, just give me that phone. And so Harry handed it to her, and then he took the picture, and then he started walking away, and I was like, wait, Harry, can I hug you? And he came back and he hugged me, and then I was like, I'll see you tonight. And then I just started crying, like I bawled my eyes out. I was shaking, and I was like, I can't believe I just met Harry Styles, and I just looked at the picture. And then I went back into Margaritaville. And the guy who was singing live, he was like, who's that? He's obviously way more younger and more famous than I am. And I was just like, sorry, I'm Harry Styles. And I was freaking out, and everybody in there was like laughing at me and making fun of me. I was like, no, you have no clue. Like, that's my idol, that's my hero. I had to go meet him. And it was amazing. And then that night I had their concert, and I met a bunch of cool Directioneers. Of course, I didn't even get pictures with them. And then at my concert, a mascot came out, and I was just like, what the heck? It was like a wolf mascot. I didn't even get a picture with him. I just like looked at him and kind of laughed, you know? I was like, what are you doing? We're a bunch of Directioneers. We don't care about the mascot. And then it goes inside the building, and he takes the hat off of the mascot, like the head. It was Niall. He dressed up as a wolf and walked out there. And he kind of looked at me, and he did this little thing he did. But I was just like, I was that close to him, and I didn't even notice. And it was the best time of my life. It was the best day of my life. Like, I never thought I would see him live, and I did. And then I met Harry and Lou and Lux, and I saw Niall that close in a mascot. I ran to the window when he took it off, because everybody was like, Niall, come back! And it was crazy. But I was gonna try to meet him when they were, or see him when they were coming to the Bridgestone, but they took an underground tunnel that goes right backstage, like it comes out right backstage, so I couldn't find it. My stepdad found it when we were in the concert, me and Mom. But when we came out, like, they had roads closed down just so, like, all of us could get out of there, just, like, spread. It was, like, just girls freaking out everywhere. It was the best night of my life, though, the best day. Harry is so sweet, and he's so tall, and he smells so good, and he's so cute, and, like, I can't believe I barely said anything to him, because I always want to be like, hey, can I touch your hair? Can I kiss you on the face? Can you kiss my cheek or something? But, like, I met him, and I was just like, this is the best day of my life. I've never smiled that big in my life. He was the first famous person I ever met. Him, Lou, and Lux, and it was absolutely amazing. That was my first concert, and it was the best day of my life. Okay, well, I guess that's it. If you have any questions, comment below, or talk to me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, anything like that. Thanks. Bye.